Cynthia has gone around.
Joe and Mary?
We were showing Tom there, Tom Connery years ago put a path into our house, and it was longer than that. And I'd say one bag of cement is all it took, like.
Well, Tom wasn't too hard of material.
Tom wasn't too hard of material, quite true.
I know.
You know what he's trying to do now, Cynthia? He's trying to bring me over to you.
Well, you're going to see our son John again. Oh, please don't. What a John worked around here. And Bernard Philip are coming again too, you know. He said that the last one should be the pump. Good. Yeah.
Aye, yeah. See Johnny walking down the road there. We're heading now towards Derrylow, which is up on these hills to the right here, over the hedges.
I thought it.
Here comes the... Here comes... Now that house wasn't there when we used to come in, but the man has since married. Now you see, that's what I thought they were talking about, going in there.
Me too.
I thought you had to go in that gate and go right. I was trying to ask them, would you go past that gate? But he tells me go this way and go in on the field then, but it's not too dry. Look, we brought the Wellingtons.
I don't think you're going to be driving them.
I don't think so. You never know. You never know. He says there's a pen here. All right. So far, the road does turn right.
This was the road in those days? Really?
Well, it was the road to a house, I think, in here, or wait now. Oh, this is the road. Yeah, we were able to go on this road actually to the bog. Ah, you see, the guy put a pin here now and blocked it. We had to start heading in across the fields now for another mile, walking. I remember a guy getting nearly drowned in a bog hole. No, this isn't.
We've come out into a field. Somewhere around here is the Berne homestead.
Berne ancestral home at Derrylow, Crohan Boyle, County Roscommon, Ireland. On the 4th of July 1994, we've walked through pretty rough terrain for the past half hour. We've put our Wellingtons on and came through the drains, and we've seen the clags coming out on the rushes and the flaggers growing in the fields, and we're now about to come closer and examine in detail the foundations of this ancestral home of the Burns, who left here in 1848. Two brothers left here and went to America. And today we have here Tom, Dr. Tom and Cynthia, all the way from Silver Lake.
Great grandson?
A great...
Yeah, great grandson.
Looking back at the field that we came across, that's the pen where we parked the car.
At the fireplace in the kitchen. And this is a chimney breast. This is a decorative chimney breast. And then right in the hob is the anchor for the crane, on which swung the crane, and on all the hooks for the kettle and the saucepans and the burners, as we used to call them. And on those you'd cook your food, and you'd cook enough food for the animals, and you'd cook for the pigs, maybe to have a supply of bacon for the year and ham. And then behind where the doorway was here, and you went into the bedroom. You know, this is a chimney breast built at an angle. I mean, the guy that probably built this had his flair for design, and he knew how his geometry. This is a nice angle. He then probably came up here, and you had a mantelpiece over it. But anyways, come into this detail of the crook. This is the actual anchor for the crane. And then the crane it swung in and out when you see, when your kettle was boiled, you swung the crane out with the crook, and you put the kettle on the hook. And then you swung it back in and cooked the kettle, boiled the kettle. Now, what happened over the years was a sycamore tree seed fell there and became, grew up, and it's almost pushing aside the other chimney breast. There was at least, I'd say there were I reckon there were 4 rooms in this house. Unless there was, you see, fairly common in those years was to have a house with a dairy. The dairy was almost as important a room because it had to be clean. It had to be clean.
So it went from about there.
There's a very clear that the foundation is still in line to here, to about here, and you know it's stretching down. I'd reckon for 30.
Yeah.
Yes, good.
Okay.
Right. Well, I'd reckon that's 45 foot by. It's a good 14 foot wide.
Who's their great-grandfather and great-grandmother probably lived here and were born here. Isn't that right? Yes, that's right.
I want you, Tom. I want to get the actual fireplace.
This is metal is still there. Probably 200, 250 years.
Since it was used.
Well, years old.
Oh yeah.
What are your feelings, Tom, just watching it now this evening?
Well, it is sort of different to realize what's gone on since my ancestors left here. But it's quite interesting.
Yeah, I mean, we're just focusing now right on the fireplace. The fire would have burned right there. We
Decided to go to America and talked about it.
absolutely. In this, I'm sure, in this kitchen, they decided to. The 2 brothers. What were their names again?
Well, John is the one we know that came.
There was one other one. We're not sure of his name.
Yes. So.
And your great-grandmother Margaret was here too.
She was reared here. She obviously learned about life here and then came to Ardmore, married my grandfather's father, and continued the line of Sharkeys.
In the house that we saw a few minutes ago.
In Ardmore, Croghan Boyle, County Roscommon. The Carrick and Shannon Road, the Carrick Road, it's the road going from Ballahadreen to Carrick and Shannon.
You ought to explain the turn so we can get on.
There's a milk lorry passing from Kiltahart to Ballahadreen.
And you said the area is Ina?
This particular townland is Derrylow.
Uh-huh.
Now, where they're living, you see, where Mary is living now and Joe, that's Ina.
Uh-huh. And that's about over that way.
It's about 3/4 of a mile.
Back that way. And then Derrylow, which is where the Berne family home is here.
Came in the cement block.
This is the pen where we parked the car at the end of the road to Derrylow, looking towards the south, and then on across the field. And right over there, where those high trees are, that's where the Berne homestead house was. It's where the highest of the trees are.
Or the Ballahadreen, Carrick and Shannon Road, and we're looking at the Berne ancestral home in Derrylow, the original home in Derrylow, Croghan Boyle, County Roscommon.
Is it straight ahead there and the big bunch?
Yes, it says tall trees.
Tall tree, yeah.
Oh, the tall trees, back in the back.
Mm-hmm.
And we're looking sort of southeast.
We're looking right into the southeast.
Zooming out.
Okay. And we're about, what, a mile from Joe and Mary's home?
And Mary's home, we're just about a mile.
Mile
Yep.
east.
A mile east.
That's the house
A tall tree.
with the tall trees. And going back, came across that field right there. And there's another house.
Now
back
this is the old Butler home, but it eventually was bought by the Hessians, and now it's in the hands of Crawford, Mr. Crawford, who farms that land, and it's about